Hello, my name is Sterling Scott, and I'm a product strategist at Skookum. Today, I'm going to be talking to you all about augmentation versus automation. And people and businesses worldwide are having lots of conversations about the rapid rate of innovation. As people experience these new technologies in their personal lives as consumers, they want to bring these technologies and their benefits into their business lives as executives and employees. Employees want this technology to help them make their jobs easier and improve their performance. However, they don't want this technology to lead to their replacement. And executives, they want the same things. However, they have the added challenge of trying to introduce these technologies without it leading to layoffs and the technology replacing people. When businesses automate tasks, systems and machines execute the tasks instead of the people. When businesses augment tasks, the people still execute the task, but they're aided by systems and machines. Here are some examples applied to the task of searching websites for contacts. Let's say that someone's job is to search a list of websites and find contact names and emails to add to a sales or marketing campaign. To automate this task, a person could take all of these URLs, drop them into a tool by copying and pasting, and then just receiving back a list of names and emails that a web crawler pulled from the site, and then just doing QA on that list and then using it. That same task, augmented instead of automated, could look like that person is still manually going from site to site, but instead of scrolling and searching, there's an extension or some type of pop-up tool that surfaces those contact names and emails for them. Same task, one version automated, the other one augmented. Some of the pros of automation are that when you're automating tasks that don't require a lot of human judgment, then it leads to efficiencies, it leads to improved performance, and it also leads to lower costs. Some of the cons of automating are that if you're automating tasks that do require human judgment, then it could lead to a lot of errors, it could lead to a lot of rework, and requires a ton of QA. In these situations, it can mean that someone has to either do more QA, or it can mean that people don't do the QA, but the data isn't trusted. Another con of automation is that if a task is automated or an entire process is automated, without finding another task or process for the people who used to do it to adopt, then it could lead to layoffs or it could lead to terminations. Some of the pros of augmentation versus automation are that it takes the tasks that do involve human judgment and makes them easier by providing contextual data and also improving accuracy and precision. And also leads to these efficiencies and improvements in performance without the looming risk of layoff. Some of the cons of augmentation are when you augment tasks that are very easy tasks that do not require human judgment, then it makes the experience very clunky and it makes it take longer to execute. If you imagine a very simple and almost mindless task that someone's able to accomplish and execute throughout the day, augmenting that with additional data and insights that they don't need will make it take longer for them to do the job. There are many ways to determine whether automation or augmentation is right for any task or process. The easiest way is to ask whether or not human judgment is required for a task or for a specific process. If human judgment is required, in that case, it's better to use augmentation. That way, a human's still making the decision, they're just making that decision with the aid of data or insights that a machine is able to surface. If you're finding that there's a task or a process where there's not a lot of human judgment that's required, in those cases, it's best to use automation because the machine can make the same judgment as a human very easily and faster too. And an example of this is if there's a process or a task that requires steps, so you're following a set of business rules, a set of logic, like if, or statements, and statements, things like that, then it makes it easier for the machine to execute on that process. If you're finding that there needs to be more critical thinking involved, like a human needs to take in the contextual data, they need to analyze it, make a decision, or they need to use some creative problem solving, in those cases, it's best to augment their experience with data versus automating that experience. When determining whether to automate or augment, there are three things you want to do first. The first is you want to interview employees so you can map out their current state experiences, including their challenges, where they find opportunities for improvement, and any important metrics that can be uncovered along the way. The second is to have an alignment workshop where you bring those employees and leadership into a room to align on an ideal future state. And that ideal future state should be based on solving the challenges that they outlined before and finding ways to expedite the processes and boost efficiencies. The third thing you want to do is look at that ideal future state and then build a roadmap of things that need to be changed or built in order to bring that company to that state. So, whether it's in your business or in a community organization in which you're involved, try to identify that first task or process that you want to change to make an impact. I want to thank you very much for your time and thanks for sticking with me today. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas you want to connect, feel free to reach out. In the meanwhile, have a good day and stay safe.